Hey coin collectors, it's DC from DC Coin World, and today I'm doing a guest video with Big D Coins. It's going to appear on both of our channels, both the Big D Coin channel and the DC Coin World International Coin channel. So I saw Big D the other day, and I wanted to thank him for helping me starting up the DC Coin channel. And, oh, he's fine, by the way, for those of you who have been asking about him. He's doing great. And I told him I'd like to do a few joint videos with him to kind of thank him for all the help that he's given me over the years. And he said, go for it, but I'm not really interested in doing any joint videos. Why don't you just do a guest video? And so that's what I'm going to do. But let's see if we can do something here with these guest videos. I think if we can set it up so that we get a bunch of views in this joint video format, then maybe we can get Big D to come back and do a joint video with me. So here's what we'll do. If we can get over 200,000 views of this within the next month, we'll have Big D, we'll go to Big D and beg him to come on and do a joint video with us. All right, so here we are. We've got the Denver in the front. We got the Philly in the back. If we flip it over, we see that it has the War Eagle on the back. At the top, it says United States of America, e pluribus unum. Down here at the bottom, it says $quarter. Now, this is a copper nickel clad copper coin, which means it has copper on the inside and a copper nickel mix on the outside. You can kind of see the coloring there. On each outside, we have the copper nickel coloring, and copper nickel coating. And as we look at this, we see that this is all worn down. This actually should have reeds all the way around it. There are 119 reeds on this coin. It was designed by, engraved by John Flanagan. And on most coins, you can kind of look down in here and see a J and an F. Let's see if we can find any JFs to look at. And these 1983s are notorious for being hard to find the JF. It'd be right there where that little mark is underneath his neck. So we'll look through some of the other ones we have here to try to find it. So there's also one other mint mark, of course, besides the D and the P, and that is the San Francisco Mint. And the San Francisco Mint that we have from 1983 is right here. And you can see it's still in the plastic, and you can see the S right here. And this, of course, when you look at it, you see it's a burnished coin. In other words, this is a mint-proof set coin. So if we get down here, you can see actually it says United States proof set. Now, one of the things that's always interested me is how Big D got 1.1 million people to watch a video on the 1983 US $quarter. And here's the video link right up here where my pen is, and feel free to go see it. For those of you who haven't left, let's keep talking and see if we can figure out why he got 1.1 million views on this 1983 quarter. And his look pretty much like these, just an old beat up quarter. Well, one of the reasons is, of course, that they made a lot of these quarters. They made what we would call a huge amount of these quarters. 673 million of the P's and 618 million or so of the D's. So between the two of these, we had 1.3 billion made, and then we had 3.25 million of the S's made. Okay, so there's a bunch out there. That doesn't really explain why people want to watch the video and why, in some cases, these are real expensive coins. Well, let's see if we can figure out why else. Well, one of the reasons, of course, they want to watch it is because these coins are so durable that people still find them in their change. And they go, man, that's 38 years old. It's got to be worth something. Turns out that most of them aren't worth anything, but there's one other reason I think that many people, like 1.1 million of them, watch the Big D coin videos, and that's because Big D made the video. And he is just great when he starts talking about the quarters. Here's another link to that 1983 video. Should be up in the top right-hand corner. The most likely answer to why 1.1 million people watch this video is because of Big D himself. He just does a great job on it. Now, if you're still here, let's talk about what the expensive versions of these coins are. And the first one is one that's called the Spitting Eagle. and you will flip it over and you look back here, and right underneath the eagle's beak, you'll see some metal. And so in these ones, we can't. This kind of a chopped up beak. We can look at a couple others if you like, but we're not going to find one, I don't think. And even if we did in this condition, it wouldn't be worth much. The spitting eagle, where there's actually metal underneath the eagle's beak, and these lines coming out, that's probably worth $200 to $300 in an MS-66 version. In other words, in a version that's shiny and new and looks like this without the burnishing, that the spitting eagle is worth $200 to $300. In a version like this, hard telling. It'd be nice to get a spitting eagle, though, no matter what the value, huh? The other thing that's really expensive on some of these coins is the error strikes. If you have George Washington kind of his hair hitting the back, or the D's off, or you kind of have some offset here, some of these offset errors are worth between $100 and $900. And finally, one of the things that's really makes these of a very high value is that even though they made proof coins, which you just saw, and they made regular mint coins, which you just saw, they did not have proof sets for sale other than at the mint. So the only way you could get, I don't mean proof sets, I mean mint sets. So there's a difference between a mint set and a proof set. The mint sets are the ones you often see in plastic. The proof sets are the ones you always see in hard plastic. Mint sets in soft kind of cellophane kind of plastic. So if you find a coin that looks this good without the burnishing in a soft cellophane, that means you have one of the souvenir sets. And that was the only way that you could get a mint set that wasn't a proof set in 1983. NGC Coins says that that makes them very, very valuable, and so does the U.S. Coin Digest, which values the mint set version, or the souvenir set, let's call it, version of the Denver coin at $30, and the souvenir set version of the Philadelphia coin at $50 in an MS-65. And I'm telling you what, if you get it in the souvenir set in the cellophane plastic, it's going to be probably pretty MS-65 or above, unless something weird has happened. So there are some valuable ones out there. Look for the spitting, look for the ones in cellophane, and look to Big D's 1983 coin video, and let's see if he can get even more views on that one. Now, here's what I want to do. If we can get 200,000 views of this video on the DC Coin World channel and the Big D Coin channel, we'll see if we can get Big D to come back and do a joint video with us instead of guest videos. But until that time, I'll keep doing some guest videos for Big D Coins, and we'll see how many views we get and see if we can have some fun. Thanks again to Big D and Big D Coins for starting out my coin channel, the DC Coin World International Coin channel. And we'd love to have you subscribe to both of our channels. Leave any comments you might have in the comment section, and have a great holiday season.